What the heck is up?
What the heck is up?
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, what's up? Okay, so last week, I don't know what episode this is, but let me tell the listeners. Last week, sorry that I missed it. Freaking missed the whole week. Because I was in Chicago.
Out being a hooligan.
Out being a hoolie. In Chicago. It's so much easier to make words smaller, shorter.
Yeah.
It's the proper. Yeah. Anyway, so I was in Chicago just visiting, just because I lived there for a summer. For Chicago Summer Mission, part of Crew. You know what Crew is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lived there?
Well, yeah, I mean...
I just thought it was like a week at camp.
No.
One time at band camp.
3 months, bro.
Wow.
3 months. And I usually... Okay.
Are you gonna like get a chai tattoo and be like, yeah, like I'm from Chai?
I'm from freaking... Yeah, I get those 4 stars.
Yeah.
Someone did get it, so I can't really judge, but... What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so I lived there technically, as in my address was there for 3 months.
Wow.
So people... Usually I'd say living somewhere is... If people can send you mail to that place, then you're living there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, so I lived there and made some memes, good and bad. Yeah, so I like to go back and visit with my buddy Sarah.
Yeah. And she was at camp with you, or not
at
camp, but whatever.
On the mission trip.
On the mission trip.
Yeah. Okay. So it was good fun. We were like in the same small group before, and so we like went together kind of, and that's where we really bonded. And so then we go back. We try to go back a lot. Yeah, and so this time, oh my gosh, let me tell you a story, and then we'll introduce the guest of the hour, most special guest. Okay, so I was in literally first day going in. We drove, then we decided to go right into Chicago. Bad idea. You got to take a nap. You need to take a nap before you go to the city.
It's a long drive.
So right when we get into the freaking city, we get off the freaking CTA train. This guy sees my like Adidas shoes, which
Superstars?
Huh?
Were they Adidas Superstars?
No, just originals. I don't know what Superstars is. What's that?
Were they white with the black stripes? Okay, Superstars.
I thought they were just Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Superstars. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
Anyways.
I thought I knew fashion, but
apparently not.
I don't know anything. Okay.
So this guy sees them.
Okay, so this guy sees them, which, side note, I got those at the thrift store for like...
No way.
For real. For like $8. Can you believe that?
No.
And I've been looking for like...
I paid a whole $80 for those.
Bro. You gotta just wait like 2 years and find them at the thrift store.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, but the thing is, I got them in like the shell, like the whatever, and the sole, bottom, were like yellow. And I was like, ew. These are original though. I was like, no, these are for real. So I need to get these. Yeah. And I will just do something about them. Okay. So I got shoe paint, shoe polish, whatever, and just whited them out. And they looked like...
Legit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, dude, this is freaking amazing. Okay. So, go to Chicago, they're white, okay? Then this guy sees them and he's like, oh my gosh, those shoes are awesome. He's like, ma'am. And I was like, oh frick. But of course he stops in the middle of the street, so I have to keep walking. And like I should have learned stuff from living there, right? Like don't make eye contact. Right. I've been gone too long. And so like he like sees him and I'm like, well, I don't want to be rude, but like I don't know what he even wants, and I'm trying to like keep going because Sarah was like super tired and just wanted food. Yeah. So we were like, oh, I gotta keep going, but he was like in the middle of the street, and then he like followed me off the street. So I was like, oh gosh, what does he want? So he's like, those shoes are so nice, but look, you have like scuff marks. And I was like, what the heck, where? As I'm trying to look at my shoe to see if there are scuff marks, and I'm like, what is he talking about?
Pocketing you?
No, he has a freaking whole bottle of soap. He just dumps his bottle of soap on my shoe, on both shoes.
Excuse me.
I know, and I'm like, I like literally was shocked. Like he didn't even ask. He didn't say anything. He's just like, bro, you got scuff marks on your shoe. All of a sudden he just dumps them. And I'm like, what do I do? Because like my first instinct, like my mom, when I was telling my mom, she's like, okay, in that situation, you're supposed to just walk away. I was like, I have freaking huge globs of soap on my shoes. So in my mind, I was like, I'm just going to let him finish and pray that he doesn't ask for money.
Yeah.
But, like, I knew, like, okay, so he like, gets this, scrubby, like, brush.
Oh, no.
And so he, like, is, like, brushing it. Whole time I'm like, he's gonna freaking wipe off my shoe polish.
Yes.
And it's gonna be yellow again.
Yes.
And so I was, like, just getting honestly pissed. And he was, like, bending, like, he was literally on the ground and made me, like, put my foot up on his knee. So I'm just so uncomfortable the whole time. And Sarah's, like, I'm looking at Sarah and she's just dying because she's so hungry. And she's like, oh my gosh, I just want to leave. Like, we're all like, I want to leave. Why did you... I'm just pissed because he didn't even ask.
Right.
Where I could say no. He didn't even ask. He just did it. So I'm, like, pissed because you got in my area. In my, like... You poured soap on my shoe, which I would have said no anyway. Even if I did have money, I would have said no because you're going to wipe off all the paint. And then he's, like, scrubbing his, like, brush on it. And then he gets a dry cloth and wipes it off. So it's like, what? And then he has to do the other one. And he's like, and then meanwhile, he's, like, talking the whole time, like, are you scared? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. And, like... I'm like, I'm not scared, I'm freaking ticked. Like, I'm annoyed.
Did you say something?
I was like, well, I have to go. Like, this is, like, I need to go. And then I was like, actually, these aren't even white, so you're wiping off the paint. And meanwhile, he's just talking, so he's not even listening to me.
Yeah.
And, like, oh my gosh, I was just getting, like, I was literally fuming. If it was one of those cartoons where you just see, like, the red just fill up.
And, like, the smoke coming from their ears or something.
Yeah, that's, like, what it was. I was, like, just getting so legitimately pissed. And meanwhile... Like, in the middle, he's like, yeah, so I, like, wash shoes because this is how I make my living for my family. And I'm like, oh, frick, he's trying to get money. Like, I should have known the whole time, but also I would have said no anyway before he even started so he didn't waste his soap.
Right.
And then he's done. He's like, look, they look great. And I'm like, you can see my yellow. There were no scuffs to begin with. Now it smells like your nasty soap. And I don't have any money for you. And so I was like, thanks, bye. And he's like, hey, this is how I make my living. Like, so then I feel terrible.
I didn't ask you to do this.
I know. I'm like, I don't have any money and I have to go. I didn't ask.
You said that?
And so I, like, walked away. And then I felt terrible because this is how he makes his living. And he just poured all of his soap all over my shoes. So I'm like...
That's not fair.
I know. I'm like, this isn't fair. And now I'm legitimately so pissed because I have to repaint my shoes. That took forever.
Like, first 5 minutes in Chicago and some guys messing up your shoes.
Yeah, already in my space. And it's annoying because they make, like, it's just so, that is, like, such, like, a hard thing, too, because it, like, ends up being, like, where, like, a guilt trip where they just make you feel super bad.
Right.
And it's like, no, I didn't ask for this.
Right.
Now I feel like a really, like...
You literally attacked me in the middle of the street.
Right.
Like, I didn't ask for this.
Yeah, like, you just came at me. Now I feel like a privileged white girl because I'm mad because now I have to paint my shoes again and your soap smells terrible.
Yeah.
So it's all I can smell.
It's probably not even real soap. Like, I'm sure he gets it from, like, the 99-cent store.
Yeah.
And then pours, like, a gallon of water in it so then... he can, like, spare some money, or, I don't know.
I don't know, but it was just, like, I was like, take the rest of the day. Plus, I was just so freaking tired. And I was like, man, and then I had to go home, and I was like, Sarah, what do I even do? I can't, like, what do I do? And she's like, just run water over it and stuff. And so it, like, got off, but
yeah.
I have to repaint my whole shoe.
So annoying.
And I didn't ask for it. It looked fine. First of all, there were no scuffs on my shoes.
Right.
Number one. So the
Number
fact
two,
that you even did
I
that.
didn't ask you to.
Because I don't have money. I don't have, like, I only have a credit card.
Right. You're not giving that to him.
I know. I'm like, do you have Venmo?
Right. You got Venmo?
Without even trying to ask or tell me what you were doing or wanted to do. Because usually they're like, hey, I have something for you. He literally, it was just on my shoe immediately. I was like,
wish you would have, like, freaked out on him and been like, what the flip? Like, what are you putting on my shoes? Like, I didn't, like, I wish you would have, like, freaked out on him then.
I know, I was just so stunned.
Because you're too nice, too.
I was just so stunned. You're right.
I was the same thing. But, like, I went to...
finish your job.
Yeah, I went to San Francisco one time. There's, like, a bunch of, like, homeless people in San Francisco, obviously. And so my mom and I are walking, and I had this, like, little backpack on, and I had, like, all my stuff in it. And, like, my mom had her stuff in it, and it was just, like, a string bag, you know? String backpack? Whatever.
Yeah. Drawstring bag.
Drawstring bag, there you go. So then, this homeless lady starts like calling at me, and I like look back at her, and I like keep walking, and I like felt something hit my ankle.
No way.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh. And she was like in a wheelchair, so I'm like, she just jumped out of her wheelchair and grabbed me. Yeah, so I was like freaking out. And then like I look back again, and she's like, your apple, and like my bag ripped, and like my apple fell out of my backpack, and she's just trying to help me.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, like I'm assuming she's like jumping out of her wheelchair to grab me.
No.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
That's my
homeless story.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know. Isn't it so funny how like
our perception?
Yeah.
Or, like,
I know. I just feel so dirty. Like I feel so nasty whenever I think any thoughts. Just the fact that I'm like putting them in a separate category.
Right. And
like
it's not that I'm judging them. I mean, like, maybe I am, but it's just like I don't live that life. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how it is.
Yeah.
Plus, like, the thing is,
1 in 3 people that are homeless have like schizophrenia or something.
Right. That's the thing. Yeah. So it's like so tough. I think I was talking to Sarah. I was like, honestly, now, because so many people have those like little earbuds now, like from Apple. Yeah. So now I'm like, Sarah, I can't even tell who's crazy anymore because everybody's talking to themselves. Yeah. And so I have to like look like really closely to see if they're talking to anyone. Typically they have them in their ears, but like there's usually someone who's just talking to themselves. I think it's too like where I think once you are kind of out of like society's rules and stuff as like a homeless person, you're kind of out of all those rules.
So you don't get like those social cues.
So I think I think that's it, where it's like, okay, if you just approach me. But the thing is, even when people have flyers and they look totally normal, I like don't want to talk to you. Yeah. So it's just the fact that anyone's approaching me on the street. I don't like that. I don't care if you're homeless. I don't care if you're a billionaire. Right. Don't freaking come at me.
Right. If you were like a normal person, like in a coffee shop, coming up to me, like asking to borrow my phone charger or something, all right, I'll give you my phone charger. I'm not going to give you my phone. I'm not going to give you $10, whatever. I've had people beg me at a gas station.
Oh, I've seen that. When I was like driving, I saw all these like really big hippies, super hippies, in their huge like hippie van, going to all the gas
stations.
People, asking for someone to fill up their gas tank, and it's like, bro, you have 10 people in your van,
right? Y'all can't split something.
Yeah, this isn't the 70s anymore. Right. Yeah.
Have you ever seen those like hobo packs that you can like carry with you and like have like a toothbrush and like a bar of soap and stuff that you can like pass out to homeless people whenever you like come across them?
No way.
Yeah, I've like thought about making one to like, keep in my car, like, you know, like when someone that comes up to your window or whatever, like on the highway. So I've thought about that, but
anyway, so guest on the show is the Kristen. You have to say your last name because you've never said it, and
it's Koutz.
Koutz!
And that's also my Instagram handle. I'm just kidding.
At Kristen Koutz.
Yeah.
Okay, Kristen Koutz. There it is, at right in front.
Yeah. I'm famous, by the way.
Seriously, she gets over 100 likes on her pics.
You know.
Incredible. How many followers do you have?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Do you know how many you have?
It's a curse.
Oh, yeah.
That I remember my follower numbers. It's literally the worst thing in the world, and I hate it so much.
Well, I swear mine changes like every day. Like somebody will unfollow me or whatever. Or I'll follow like 8 more people.
Yeah, it's so weird. I'm like, man, I need to like change my audience, and like, because it was all people from like high school or college, and you're like, I'm different, and I don't want to know what you're doing because we're different. Like we're just different people,
right? And like we're going different directions.
Yeah. So to see someone where it's like, this post sucks, but like I did know them 10 years ago, so you feel obligated, but it's like.
Yeah. Or like I hate when somebody unfollows me and I'm like, we were friends.
I know. I seriously, okay, like I think someone tweeted, I think it was Lecrae, and he's like, your followers are not your friends. That like hit me. It literally like pushed me back to the wall.
So what are the rules on like unfollowing somebody on social media that you are kind of associated with, but you don't want to see their negative posts anymore?
Okay, this is what my friend gave me, this rush of just freedom. And so I haven't said this in public, but I unfollowed like over 300 people.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's a lot.
Just like, and I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Because usually I'm a hoarder. So I'm like, oh, but I might talk to them.
Right.
You know? Yeah, there's something wrong there.
Yeah.
It's so hard to be around people who are so negative and see their negative posts and stuff. Like, bro, okay, that's why I was just like, I think I just like, hit that, like, I don't even know what it was, but where you're just like, okay, I'm different. These people are annoying the crap out of me. I don't want to see their posts. They're like making me mad. They're making me like feel lesser, even though they're not doing anything. They probably don't even, we don't talk. And I was like, why am I still following them? I don't talk to them. I don't care what you're doing. And so I just like unfollow them. And even if like, because I also realized like, okay, I think my thing was like, if I haven't talked to them in a year and I know for a fact I'm not going to see them, and if I do see them, it's not like we're going to be best friends again. And the thing is I have unfollowed people where we do become friends again, and I'm like, sorry, I unfollowed you. So then I refollow and I'm like, bro, I unfollowed you because we weren't friends, but now we're friends. And they're like, oh, I totally understand. Like, things are great because like you're adults, right? It's not freaking high school. Like you're adults, where it's like, you and I both know we were on really bad terms, so I unfollowed you. But now that we're back, I followed you again because we're back together forever.
Well, and then I feel like some people do unfollow people like out of spite, and I don't like that. Like when you're, as soon as like you get in a fight and you unfollow them, then you like make up 3 days later, so then you have to follow each other back. Like, I don't like that.
I did that my freshman year of college. Because I was really immature. So I think that's what you're saying. It's like, that's just immature as heck.
Yes. Like, and then like, why is that like your, like, why do you use social media as like a punishment? Like, I'm gonna, oh my gosh, like, we got in this fight, so like, I can never see a post of theirs again. Like, gotta unfollow them right now.
First I preached the last Sunday. Long down the yellow road, I remember something that leaving wasn't easy, all that evening in my vines, and as certain in this evening that is now is not the time. Toiling with your blood, I remember something. In beer ration, kissing on a night second to last, finding both your hands, a second sun came past the glass, and oh, I know it felt right, and I had you in my grasp. Oh,
You need like a cleansing. You need a friend's cleansing.
Yeah, that's why I want to like move to Austin.
Just literally cut everyone off.
Yeah, we can be pen pals though.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, that's what I was going to talk about. It's like, what, because like I cannot hold conversations over text. And
I'm so bad, especially these days. Like, I don't want to respond to anybody.
Like, what is it? I feel like there's something psychological going on, because I just feel like the absolute worst friend. I know this is why I'm losing friends, because if like my friend, I was, you know, when you're on the toilet and like that's when you're most, and same for shower, your most like contemplative thoughts come to you.
Yes.
Okay, I was like on the toilet today, and I was just thinking like, I just hate talking on the phone. I freaking hate talking on the phone, unless it's like really quick.
Yeah.
But if it's like an hour or longer, I don't want to talk to you, especially if I know it's going to be an hour or longer. I'm like, what are we talking about? I'm tired. Like, tires me out.
And then I hate ending a phone call like, all right.
How do you end it?
Later. Or like, okay, well, I'll let you go. And I don't like that either, because it's like, oh, you're going to let me go?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, so are you done?
Right.
Are you done?
Yeah.
And you try telling someone that you have to go.
Right. Yeah.
Especially if you don't have to go.
Right.
Like, I just feel so rude. And like, it's easier when you're face to face, because then you're like, you kind of show it in your like nonverbals.
Right, exactly.
Or it's like, all right. And you slowly walk away.
Yeah.
You just know. And like, I need to like talk to a therapist about it or something. Like, why is it so hard for me to text back? I get a text, I look at it, and then I put my phone away. I
like,
don't text them back.
Like, anxiety, like thinking of a response, or like,
right.
Oh, I don't want to text them back. It stresses me out to like respond to that person,
because you know, like, this is probably going to be a conversation, and you're like, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah.
Like, the only time that I'm like, I feel like I've actually stayed in a conversation is if something's happening, or we're talking about it, or like when I was in a relationship, because I didn't see them ever, so I like wanted to talk to them all the time.
Right.
But that's how it should be now, right? Like, I don't see them ever.
Or like the friends that I do end up talking to, like on the phone for an hour, like I want to be, because like we're that close, or like we don't live near each other.
Yeah.
But then even then, like after that hour, like I still, even if it's like my best friend, like I don't know how to like end the convo.
Right. Like, what is this?
Yeah. And like, because I don't want to offend them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like there's something like in our subconscious, or like there's something psychological, and I need someone to figure it out. Like, what is wrong? Am I a bad friend? Am I lazy?
I've thought about seeing like a Christian counselor just to like talk.
I did today.
No way.
Yeah, I went back to therapy.
Wow.
And like, oh my gosh, because I went my senior year of college. It was so great. Like, because I like love talking, because that helps me process things a lot better.
Yeah, like as soon as I tell somebody else and talk through it, like I feel a little bit more relieved. Or something.
And like you understand things a lot more than if you're just thinking to yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Like, even if no one's, that's why like I'm always talking to myself, like in my car.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm like,
I'll like have whole combos too. Like, not like, oh yeah, what'd you do today? Oh,
that's freaking weird.
Yeah, right. I don't do anything like that, but like normal, like, oh,
it's like, I can't believe they did that. Well, why would they do that?
Right.
Let's,
or
like,
what would I
think
say
about
to
that.
them, like if I confronted them, like what would I do? You know?
Yeah, where it's like, yeah. So like talking to it, but it was like nice because like I used to be like so against therapy, where it's like, I'm my own therapist. Like, I know me.
Or like, you must have severe problems if you're going to therapy.
Yeah. Which, just to let everybody know, therapy is like the most common thing, I feel.
Yeah. And what's the suicide hotline number?
I don't know what it is.
1-800.
Oh, let's think of the Logic song.
Should we?
Yeah, Google it. But like, seriously, therapy is like so common, and honestly it's so great because you have a professional who's giving you, because your friends are great, they know you,
and it's an outside perspective.
That's
that
the
doesn't
greatest
know
thing.
your friends or knows what you've told them.
Oh, you're looking up the Logic song on iTunes. I'm dead. Instead of just Googling suicide hotline.
Guys, if you need help or need to talk to someone, or if you are being bullied, okay, so it's 1-800-273-8255. Get help now.
Get help.
Yeah.
Because they are really there for you. They're just there to listen. It's so good to have someone to listen. Because your friends are there for you, but they're also not professionals.
Also, your friends are there for you to an extent.
Right.
And then as soon as they're not there for you, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So just go to someone that you pay to help you.
Right. And you can't put that much pressure on your friends.
Right.
Because sometimes I feel that, like, if someone, like, comes to me, I'm like, I feel, like, super pressured, when I shouldn't, but...
Right. Well, and, like, everyone has problems, and you can't put your problems on someone else. So don't do that to your friends.
Yeah. But they want to be there to listen. The right people.
Yeah.
Your good friends. If they're your good friends. They would want that for you.
Yeah.
Because they want the best for you. Is a good friend. So if they're not... Think about your friendships. If none of them are helping you and that they're not wanting the best for you, you should get out of those friendships.
Yes.
But
that is called a toxic relationship.
Yeah, think about that. But therapy is just so great because outside opinion, I seriously, like, it made me think so much and helped me, like, because they're always like, what's the goal of this? Like, what do you want to accomplish if we ever do end? Like, what's your goal? And I'm like, honestly, to just understand myself more, because I have no idea about anything. Like, I want to know why I do the things I do, like, why I react a certain way, what's going on. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, let's do that. And so it's like, and it's just, like, so nice. Like, so I feel awkward sometimes because, like, they ask a question and you're never prepared for the questions, but like, so like things aren't coming to my head. So then I feel like, oh crap, I'm getting this wrong. But it's not. It's just a free.
It's not a right answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
like for an example, do you have one?
I think she asked like what your values are.
Ooh.
And so I was like, I know it's supposed to be confidential, but like, this is very open. It's confidential in that she can't say anything.
Okay, yeah.
But like, yeah, they just like she just asked like my values, and so I was like, oh, well, I think like obviously as a Christian, like our purpose like as Christians is to serve God and worship Him, and so that should be our goal in doing everything. And she's like, yeah, so that's your purpose. And I was like, oh frick, now I'm getting confused what a value and a purpose is. So then I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm getting this wrong. But she's like, no, let's just figure out your values. And I was like, oh my god, like they're just there to help you and help you like in any way. And so then we talked about like jobs a lot, like because I like am trying to find like
a real job,
a career, and I have no idea like where to go with that. And so she was like even helping with that some, and I was like, this is amazing to just have like someone more than just your family or like your friends, but like an actual like professional helping you, because they don't have to know you 100% to be able to help you.
And sometimes I feel like they can just give you the answers that your friends and family can't. And not that they're necessarily gonna like give you answers, but like their advice is just gonna be like totally different than your mom being like, you got this, honey, or like your friend like, oh honey, like you're beautiful. Like it'll be like just a completely different like aspect and viewpoint advice.
And I think like they, even on the first like day that they meet you, you like give so much to them. And like even if you barely talked, like whatever answers you gave, it like they for some reason like somehow understand you in ways that you didn't even.
Well, I actually was a psych major.
No freaking way, bruh.
So, and I really wanted to be an art therapist and kind of like help people through like art. And so I like shadowed an art therapist one time, and she was like, okay, so I'm going to do an activity with you that I would do like with my kids. And so she like had me like fold a piece of paper into like 6 squares, and like on each thing I was supposed to like draw a picture of my mom, draw a picture of my dad, and like the colors that I used, and like she was like, what sport did you play? And I like drew me doing that sport, and like all of those things like gave her like an indication of like my thoughts in my life and my feelings based on the colors and like what I drew. So, and I think that's so cool and so crazy, and I'd love to go back to school to do that someday. But I cannot like do other school. Like I only want to take my psych class and like not have to like finish math or.
Oh my gosh,
So.
Oh my gosh, wait. Okay, so I saw Life of the Party with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh yes,
where she goes back to college, and I'm probably gonna ruin this, but like she doesn't do any GE classes.
Oh really?
It's just whatever she like wanted to go to school for. I'm like, that's not how college works at all.
Right.
Where's her math class?
Exactly.
Where's her stupid science and stuff? And
that's
English.
Why I ended up kind of quitting college initially, because I didn't want to do those classes, or like couldn't pass those classes easily.
Isn't that annoying that we like go through all this high school of GE and then they're like, okay, so college is where you figure out what you want to do, but you also still have to do this GE. I'm like what do even if you're declared?
Or like, why have I had English my entire life and then I have English again? Like, I don't know, like I already learned how to write, and I know what a comma is, and a semicolon.
Why am I still writing these stupid essays? That no one wants to read.
And I can't write, and this isn't why I'm going to school, is to write. Like, that's not my purpose.
It's like not helping you.
But I loved learning about people, and that's why I like working with people now, is because I think people are so interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, we should probably like tell people about you though.
Oh, okay.
I like just realized, I was like, oh frick, we're still just good conversation. Okay, first of all, Kristen and I know each other from work.
Yes.
She's the best.
Yeah. I'm a licensed esthetician. I don't know, what else?
We first met because you were the desk person up in the spa.
Yep, while I was in school.
Yep. And now you're licensed.
Yes.
Now she does nails, face, hands, waxing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything for your skin, which is like everything.
Yep.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. She's pro.
Yeah. Legit.
Yeah. Wow. How did you know that you wanted to do that?
I've always loved just kind of like that industry. I loved makeup. I used to do my own nails. If you really creep hard back on my Instagram,
you can see all those nail pics.
Yep. Used to be a #passion.
Nice.
And then I didn't think that I wanted to do that because, like, just going to school, like, where I did, like, I thought I had to go to college. So I went to college for, like, 2 years, tried it out, and then I was like, yeah, like, I'm not a school person.
Yeah.
Can't do this. So then I was like, well, why don't I just at least do, like, what I want to do now, and then I can always go back to school. Like, I still have all these credits.
Yeah.
So that's when I decided to go to Aveda and become an esthetician. And do what I love.
Wow.
Yeah. I can also do makeup applications, and I love, like, makeup, so.
Check her out on YouTube.
No.
Not yet. It's not up yet.
Yeah.
She'll tell you when it launches.
Yeah, girl.
Okay, isn't that interesting, though, that, like, we go through high school, and then we're like, okay, this is what we're supposed to do next. College.
Yeah.
This is just what we're supposed to do.
Right. And I think that's just, like the town that, like, we live in.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to go to college.
Yeah.
And, like, the people that didn't, like, were failures.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't want to go to esthetician school, even though I knew I wanted to do that eventually. Like, my plan was to do it, like, after college.
Yeah.
Then now it's like, okay, like, there's no shame in this game.
There's literally no shit. Like, I don't understand. It's so irritating. And I was, like, thinking about it. And, like, like, why at this time in my life, this post-college time, why I feel, like, so low. As if, like, I should be ashamed. And, like, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, it's because I just did what you're supposed to do. And then all of a sudden you're, like, dropped off. And they're just like, all right, now go. And I'm like, wait, no, I need guidance because I was just doing what I was told that we were supposed to do. And then all of a sudden you're just throwing me out the car. Like, what? And I was thinking, I was like, that's so what it is. Like, the whole life, like, we're just like, okay, go to school. And then you're just thrown out of the car.
Go to a college, do this, do that. All right, now go.
Yeah, now you have to go to your full-time job right after college. And if you don't,
you're
bye.
fail.
Yeah. Sorry, you're off the train. Kick them off.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I'm thinking, like, if I did get my full-time job, like, right after college, would I even like it?
Yeah.
And, like, would I have liked my life? And, like...
And do you like going to work, like, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5?
Yeah.
Well, and then it's like, okay, I gotta go to bed early because I got work tomorrow. And then, like, your whole life just ends up being work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's like Saturday and you're like, oh, I worked all week. I don't want to hang with anybody.
Right. Plus, like, all the yuppies. You know what that is? Okay, my friend told me. And now we use it all the time. Every time we go anywhere slightly nice where they're older than college, we're like, oh, look at all these freaking yuppies. But, like any... Like, the yuppie life is, like, going to college or going to work, and then they come out, like, I feel like they go out every night, is what it seems like. Is, like, that's the life, is, like, going to work, then going out.
Yeah,
honestly, just living for the bar after work.
Even today, I was, like, walking out with all of the golf members, and they were like, all right, so we'll meet you at Yogi's, which is, like, a little bar in Dublin.
Yeah. Everybody's just living for the weekend, pretty much, or bar at after work.
Right.
So everybody's life is actually really terrible, is what it seems.
Yep.
So we're fine.
Come down from the ledge of my love. I don't know what you're running from, but it's sure enough to pass, and the pain you feel won't last, and they take you home. And I don't know when or how you got to where you are right now, but it have turned to dust along with your innocence. I will be your hand to hold if you wanna let go.
Bachelorette, though. Who is it?
Brooke or something. Brooke.
Do you like her?
Yeah. It was crazy. She got picked though. She was
the yes.
Yeah.
I heard so many interviews about this.
That was crazy.
It was annoying. I heard that everyone. I didn't even watch that season because he already annoyed me.
Well,
Same
I
for
didn't even
Nick.
like her in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like, she was not my top pick for him in general. And then he, like, the one that he did end up getting engaged to, he didn't even take out on a date until, like, the very end. So, like, the relationship was, like, a whole 3 weeks long.
Literally the whole time, though. Like, the thing is like, the, like, couple episodes that I watched, you could just tell he was, like, 9 to anyone.
Okay, but at the same time, like, you could tell he was, like, very into, like, physical things.
Yeah.
So, like, even when, like, they'd be talking, like, you could watch him staring at their
chest.
Yes, there you go. I was like, what's an
good word?
appropriate word?
But that's annoying. And he's like, because in the trailers and stuff, he always seems so great. And then I just learned from SNL and all this stuff that he's just like not. Yeah. Okay.
And then for like April Fool's Day, they did a baby prank, and everyone was like so offended that they pulled a baby prank. Like
baby prank, like what?
Like, oh, coming soon.
Oh,
yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Well, and so people were like, how dare you joke about that? There's millions of people or millions of women that can't get pregnant.
Everybody is so freaking ticked about everything.
Yes, like somebody could literally find anything to be mad about.
I'm just like over it.
Yeah.
You can't have an opinion. If you don't want to be offended, or if you don't want to offend anyone, just stay inside. Don't turn on any screens. Don't even look out your window. You'll be offended.
Why do you feel like you need to push your opinion onto me?
Yeah.
I obviously am my own person, and I have my own opinions already. So you don't need to tell me what my opinion should be.
Yeah. And, like, what I've learned or seen is that, like, the annoying thing about people who, like, are so strong one way is that they, like, where they, like, accept, or they talk about, like, everyone needs to accept everyone, like, everyone needs to love everyone. Then once you have a differing opinion from them, you're evil, like, you're heinous, you're disgusting, and it's like, so
and they can
so
be rude
really,
to you then.
yeah, so really what you want is that you want everyone to be on your side, everyone to think the exact same thoughts as you.
Right.
That's the only way.
Right. It's not love everyone.
Yeah. It's love everyone who thinks the exact same way as you.
Exactly.
Which even your most best friends do not think the same way as you.
Right. I don't know.
It's just like a whole thing where, like, no one wins because everyone's going to be wrong no matter what it is. And that's what's annoying too, is like, even if you, like, went back to the Bible, which I believe to be the truth, it's probably not it might not be someone else's truth, so they're like, why does that matter? But then also, even if it is the truth, the full truth, people only want to believe what they like, and they round it out to be what they like.
Yeah.
And so if it's icky to them or it doesn't coincide with their beliefs, then they just mark it out.
Yep.
Or it's not from the Bible or something. And it's like, bro, the Bible, God did not write the Bible. It's not God breathed so that it can fit your own thoughts.
Right, exactly.
And your own beliefs. That's not, like, I don't know, just like this day and age, it's like, have your opinions. Oh my gosh, say what you believe. And once you do, it's like, don't you dare think that. Like, how dare you say that? And it's like, bro, what? I just said that I liked the color blue. Why did you bring it up as if,
why
like,
is that offensive? Yeah,
why did you get defensive?
Well, why am I automatically in a gang because I like that color?
Right.
Or whatever.
That's what my brother gets, like, freaking ticked that the rainbow, like, like, my sister loves the rainbow. And, like I don't really have a favorite color, so, like, we just like the rainbow. But if you wear even a symbol of a rainbow, it means that you're gay, or you're, like, supporting that, or you know someone who is, and so it's a conversation. And you're like, bro, no, I just freaking like the symbol of a rainbow.
Right.
And first of all, the rainbow came from the Lord.
Right, exactly. And I think that's so crazy that is what that ended up being. Because, like, what if they loved, like, the symbol of the cross and was like, this is gay rights? Like, that's so crazy. Like, that is a symbol of God. It was, like, a promise from God.
Yeah.
And it ends up being, like, a gay rights symbol.
Which is totally just a huge symbolism of the enemy taking something good from God and turning it. Like, that's the biggest, easiest thing to spot.
Yeah.
Okay, on my YouTube, you know, like my first YouTube, it was like reacting to these YouTubers reacting to these two Christian girls.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was watching it, I was like, dude, this is crazy to, like my first instinct was, like, that this is crazy, like, to see their reactions, because it's what we Christians, like, are used to. It's what we grow up in. Anyway, so I got a comment, and it was, like, the fact that you're, like, so shocked at their reactions totally means that, like, shows how, like, brainwashed you guys are. And I was like, okay. But then they said another one, like, specific at a specific time, and that, like, oh frick, I forget, shows how much I care, but, like, anyway, it was something about, like, non-Christians and something, and I was like, yeah, that's what I'm saying, though, is that, like, as Christians, it's just so weird, like, people do not read the whole article, you know, they don't watch the whole video, but like, that's what I'm saying, as a Christian who's grown up in the Christian world, is that it's so easy to, like, just be totally in your own bubble of Christians, and how I'm like, every time I think about a comment, I'm like, you're so dumb. Like, freaking watch the video. Like, I explain how it's so freaking crazy. As Christians, we're in a bubble, and it's so easy to just, like, be shocked at non-Christians and, like, be so stunned at how they think. But it's like, duh, I've been focused on, like, I've been surrounded by people of the
this
same
is how
mind.
I was raised, and that's how you were raised.
Right. It's like, it's so easy because you're surrounded by like-minded people. And that's what I was saying, is, like, we really, as Christians, need to stop being surrounded. Like, it's good to go to your church, but then it's so good to also, and I need to, like, teach this to myself too, because it's so easy to be surrounded by your like-minded people, but that could be the same for non-Christians. Literally anyone. You want to be surrounded by people who are like-minded, but, like,
and I want people that are gonna, like, push me to be a better Christian and, like, just be a better person in general. And I feel like those people that will push me to be a better person are my Christian friends. And they just, like, correlate, and I feel like a lot of my friends that aren't Christians are my friends that are like, hey, like, let's go out tonight, like, let's go to Yogi's. So, and then I find myself, like, looking for those Christian friendships, and, like, I want to find a new Bible study this summer, and like, but I was just reading this thing the other day where, like, Jesus hung out with sinners, because he like knew his God and knew who he was, and he can hang out with sinners and, like, not be a sinner,
influenced.
Exactly. And how, like, he witnessed to those sinners, and, like, that's what I should be doing. Like, I shouldn't only seek out, like, the Christian friends in my life. Sure, it's good to have, like, those, like, backboard friends that, like, you can go to, but then also, like, go out, be, like, witness.
How are you going to, I mean, it's good to be an example to other Christians and to learn from them, but also you're not spreading the kingdom, right? Like, your goal, I think I was talking about this with someone else on another episode, but, like, I don't think that we're meant to solely every day you need to be talking to someone new about Jesus who doesn't know Jesus.
I don't think everyone's called to do that either.
Oh my gosh, no. And, like, how are you going to be filled?
Or, like, God makes everyone in his image, but, like, there's introverts that, like, don't want to talk to people.
Oh my gosh.
And so they don't feel like their purpose is to, like, witness to people. I,
like, freaking go off when because that's, no offense to crew, but that's, I just, like, struggled with that so hard with crew, because they obviously teach you how to evangelize, which is awesome. You need to know how to do that. You need to know how to do the gospel to people. But, like, they did it in one way. Like, you have to go out in the public. You have to go door to door. You have to approach people. And, like, my
Mormonism
friend
stuff.
freaking Jehovah's Witness stuff.
Yeah.
And like my friend who is introverted as heck, but she obviously like is outgoing with her friends and the right people at the right time. She's like, I'm so against this. Like if this was me, if I'm putting myself in their shoes who were knocking on the doors, I don't care if we're believing the same thing. Don't freaking come to my door and impose on me and try to sell me Jesus.
Yeah, no. And I don't like when someone does come to my door and tries to tell me about my God. Like, I'm already a Christian. Thanks. No thanks. Bye-bye. Like,
Right.
Please leave.
We will finish what we start. Down beyond the rocks and stone. I'll look within for where I've been. I will see more down the road. So far, far, far beyond. On and on and on and on we go into the unknown. On and on and on and on we go.
Okay, one time we talked about, it was so good. I freaking love this conversation. But it was like so good. It was like about how there's like just different types of Christians, you know? And like how we always feel like it's so hard to like find just like normal Christians.
Yeah.
This is like how I knew we were going to be friends. When you like said that, I was like, wow!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's, like, the stereotypical Christian, like, homeschooled,
Homeschool.
wear sandals throughout the winter.
Wait. What are they called? You know.
Chacos?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I have a pair of Chacos. But
That's okay, though.
No shame. Yeah, so, like, those homeschooled Christians that, like, have never sinned a day in their life. No, I'm just kidding. But,
Their sin is different.
yeah. They have, like, I feel like not experienced
They haven't,
life.
yeah.
I don't know. Not
Because-
that I have. Like,
right,
I'm
I know,
super, right.
Not
Yeah,
that
I'm
we,
so
like,
experienced.
right, like we're so experienced in sin, whatever.
Yeah, I've been through it.
I've been through it all. You don't even know what you're talking about. I feel like it's more just like where,
It's like their reality is so different than our reality, and like we're like more in the middle, to where like we believe in God, we know our purpose, we go through our daily life thinking of God, but we're not like sitting at a random person's table just to witness to them or something. I don't know.
oh my gosh, yeah. Where it's like, it's just so tough because like, yeah, there are those,
And I don't want to say like I'm a bad Christian.
yeah.
But
Which
would you
what does that
say-
even mean? What does that
Right.
mean?
Right. Or like, do you know like the lukewarm Christian
Yeah.
talk?
Which, okay, first of all, as a human,
I suck.
you're gonna be lukewarm.
Right.
Because you're a human living in the world, and
Right.
if you're not coming back from camp or at church camp,
Right.
you're gonna be lukewarm.
Right. Pretty much. If you're not on fire
If you're
for
not
God,
on fire, then you're lukewarm.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling the freaking whatever Holy Spirit in that worship song,
Right.
you're lukewarm.
Right.
No, I'm just
If I'm
kidding,
not
but-
crying every week at church or raising my hand.
Oh my gosh, I struggled with that so hard. I was like, frick church, okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm not feeling
Yeah.
this dang, like, Holy
Banjo
Spirit.
music. Yeah.
This freaking Holy Spirit for the 10th time. I don't have the Holy Spirit in me? No. I don't like this song. That doesn't mean I'm a lesser Christian than
and
you.
why are there those standards? Like,
Right.
like that. There's nothing in the Bible about if you don't kneel during a worship song or
You're not a Christian.
exactly.
Which, yeah, everyone has a different form. Oh my gosh, my therapist today, she said, honestly, there is no one form of Christian because we're all made in His image and we're all made differently in His image. So we're
Right.
all going to worship Him differently. We're all going to be a different Christian. There is no one silhouette that we're supposed to
Right.
fit
Right.
because we are all different.
Yeah.
And yet, because we're made in His image, we all seek to worship Him. Like, that's
Yeah.
our...
Right.
Because we're made to worship something, and
Right.
so as Christians, you want to worship Him, but because we're made differently, we're gonna do it differently.
And because we were raised from birth, like, as a Christian, I feel like it's such a different experience, like, following God, because we've never been at rock bottom.
Yeah, we've never, like had the
looking
palm
for
moment.
anything. Yeah. So, I feel like I'm, like, not that I'm jealous of people that have, like, been there.
No, I get you.
But I just feel like for the longest time, like, I didn't have a testimony because my testimony was when I was 7 years old, I was baptized. And it was my decision when I was a 7-year-old to live the rest of my life in Christ. When, like, what did I know about living the life
Right.
as a Christian? Like, I didn't.
Right.
And then, so in high school, when it's like, oh, share your testimony night, some people are like, oh, my parents are going through a divorce, like, I really leaned on God throughout that, or like, oh, I was 16 and pregnant. Like, meanwhile, I have been to church every Sunday in my life.
Right. And, like, sometimes
I lied.
I don't like I don't like things or people.
Yeah, sometimes I tell my mom that I liked her dinner when I didn't. Like,
and that was just really tough for me.
Right. I lied to her.
I lied to my mom, and that was just a really tough time in my life.
Yeah.
And I had to really lean on God for that.
Yeah, so now being, like, an adult, and I feel like I've been through a little bit more life. Right. I feel like I can now say that I have a testimony.
Which is annoying, though, to the fact that you feel like you have to sin to have a testimony.
Exactly.
Is not how God intended it to be. Which is annoying. Like, that's what I've always struggled with in, like, Christian organizations or whatever, is that we feel like we have to fit some kind of mold that they've put together for us to fit. Yeah. And so you don't fit it, so then you feel like you have to do something to fit it.
And sometimes I did feel like I never fit in at church because I, like, I moved, and so I wasn't, like, raised in that church like everyone else. Yeah. And then I didn't have some huge sin and was, like, brought in by my friend, or some huge, like, trial or tribulation in my life. Oh, and then, like, this, I remember one time they, like, wanted to start this, like, divorced parent small group. Okay, don't fit in that category.
That's
like,
annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just segregate the people.
Like, what about the been a Christian my whole life, hashtag still struggling
Seriously
small group? Like, where's that at?
Seriously. Yeah, it's just like, it's just irritating. Yeah, the fact that you have to be like, okay, so I either must not be a good Christian if I don't have, like, this amazing freaking wow testimony, or I have to go sin, like, to be a better Christian. Like, I haven't hit rock bottom yet. That's what it is. Right. I had to go hit that.
Right. I had to go hit that.
Hit that. But it's just, like, it's so weird. And, like, I know that, like, for my testimony, I try to, like, think that I was, like, really depressed or something, and that's, like, which, like, I know I was in middle school, but that's for everybody. Middle school sucks, but
you're finding yourself.
It just sucks so bad. And, like, so I was depressed, but, like, that's not how I found Jesus. Right, exactly. Like, that was just another, like, super downhill on the roller coaster.
Right.
Like,
it wasn't like you ever stopped believing.
Right. And it wasn't like I went harder for Jesus. Like, and I feel like that's, like, every other week. Like, some weeks I'm like, okay, I forgot about Jesus. Like, that's terrible. But then the other week I'm like, we're going to freaking read the Bible.
Yep.
More.
Yep. Every day.
Every freaking day.
Yeah. Or, like, I'll set my alarm and be like, so tomorrow I'm going to, like, wake up. I'm going to, like, read my Bible. Yeah. Do my journaling, whatever. And then I'm going to have such a good day. Yeah. And no.
And you don't do it.
Yeah.
Because sleep. Isn't that terrible, too, that, like, if you're by someone who does read the Bible every day, you're like, I'm not getting my crowns in heaven today. Right. But it's like, no, that's so stupid. Yeah, like, it's like, and I know that it's just a discipline for me that I need to practice, but it's hard for me to read the Bible a lot.
Okay, to be honest, I don't read the Bible. I just do my devotions.
Yeah. Which though, I know a lot, like, that was MVNU, honestly, where people would be like, did you read today? I'm like, well, no. And they're like, here's a devotion for you, which is, like, one verse that they put in the devotion. I'm like, you didn't read your Bible either.
Right.
Don't tell me that you read when you just read someone else's, like, poem.
Right.
Like, don't make me feel bad as if you read for an hour.
Exactly. So when I am doing my journal, or I don't know why I'm calling it my journal, my devotional, I'll, like, it's just like a, have you heard of, like, what's it called?
Jesus Calling?
Yeah.
So good.
And so...
Which, those are one verse.
Yeah.
And people will say they read today.
Yeah, so what I try to do is, I actually have 2, like, devotionals, so I'll try to do both. And they're both, like, just like that, like in Jesus Calling, how it's like there's a little passage, and then it has, like, the verses related, or at least that's how mine is. And then, so, like, I'll read those, I'll go and look those verses up in the Bible and kind of read that whole passage.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
Yeah, and then I'll go to my other one, read those, and it's, like, the same day, like, January 31st or whatever. And then I'll, like, go back into the Bible and read that passage. So that way I'm, like, kind of getting into the Word. Yeah. But it's, like, to an extent to where, like, I'll understand it. And I'm not, like, just reading all of Psalms. Like, oh, yes. Taking it all in. Like, because I won't.
Right. That's the thing. It's, like, why am I lying to myself?
Right.
Because I know.
Because that's what I think a good Christian is, like, can sit down and read the Bible. Or do the Bible in a year or whatever.
Yeah, where you understand everything you're reading.
Yeah. My friend in high school memorized the entire passage of James.
No freaking way. That's the coolest thing, but that's pretty wild.
Wild. Like, I can just do, like, a couple, like, John 3:16 and...
I know. I need to, like, start memorizing again. Because if you, like, God even said, have it on your heart. Because that's what you need.
It's your sword.
Yeah, because if you don't, like, then all these... It's so cool how, like, God knows us. It's, like, all these things happen. I'm like, dude, God freaking knew. And then we're just like, whatever. I learned that in Awana. Like, it doesn't stay with me, though. But, like, then it comes back up and you're like, oh, frick, God knew. Yeah. He told me when I was freaking 5.
Right.
I didn't even think about it. Yeah. But, like, to have it on your heart because he knows that your negative thoughts, like, he knows the enemy is, like, that's where he gets you.
Right. But for real, all the verses I do know are from learning them in Awana.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, I was so bad at learning them that, like, my mom would make up, like, raps for me.
No way.
Yeah. So, like, the best one is, every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights. And then, I don't know the rest of the passage, but it's, like, James 17.
Oh, so it really didn't help you.
Okay, you know what? I really could have told you like 4 years ago, but it's been so long.
That's so good. That reminds me of Hannah Montana's Bone Dance.
Oh, yeah. With Tillen. Oh my gosh, that actually scared me. I was not expecting
You jumped.
You were so calm.
I was like, there it comes. That's hilarious. Yeah. I almost jumped because you did, but like it was like such a slow reaction.
Like, why was I so scared and you weren't?
Because he was like so slow. He's like, it was like a very slow. It's so good.
I immediately felt stupid.
I'm washed out and lazy, just look at me. So don't be so hasty to fall with me. I'm not even cool, I mean, just look at you and it's plain to see. I'm getting all twisted, you're granting my wishes. Yeah, I need a minute just to believe it. I just don't get it, can't comprehend it. Every minute we get takes us closer. Every minute we get takes us closer.
Okay, any final thoughts that you want to add?
Listen to logic.
Listen to what?
Do your devotional
Seriously,
daily.
do your devos.
Yeah, seek out a Christian counselor because talking to people can help.
So good. Anything that you're like really into right now you want to tell the people?
Take pictures.
Pictures.
Yes, just got a disposable camera.
Nice.
It's lit. We took our first photo today, actually. Really into my Polaroid camera again. So take photos, but live in the moment.
Photos are so good.
Capture those moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like deleted my Instagram all week because I was on vacation. So I was like, I don't want to be on social media this week. So I didn't.
That's good.
It was really nice.
Have you downloaded it yet?
Yeah, I got it today, but I was just on it and I was like, this is a waste of my time. Why am I on this? It's so weird being off it and then coming back and be like, why do I even have this?
Right. And like back to the whole like I want to unfollow people. Like I want to go to Instagram for like those positive influencers and like for inspiration for my own Instagram.
Yeah.
And for that creative aspect.
Yeah.
And like when people like posting like Yogi's reunion, like I don't want to see that.
Nobody freaking cares.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just mute people.
Right.
If they ever do that feature.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going to be muted hardcore by everyone. I'd rather, honestly, just everybody unfollow me if you don't like it.
Right.
Please don't, though. Please, God, don't. No, just kidding. Like,
please don't.
Please, God, don't. But, like, I don't know. I think it's just, like, if people are unfollowing you, it's because they're not, like, vibing with each other. And maybe
and that's
it is.
Okay. You don't have to be everyone's cup of tea.
Right.
And that is
Oh my
hard for me
gosh.
to understand. Because, like, I don't like when someone doesn't like me. And
Yeah.
like, why?
Yeah. Like, what can we do to change that?
Right.
Nothing. We
right.
just don't vibe.
Let her not like you. Like, oh.
That's
What
it.
about me that she doesn't like?
Yeah, like, what?
Yeah.
Let me fix it. But then...
It's like, no. I'm an independent woman.
I know, literally. It's like we have two different personalities where it's like one is like, oh, I need to fix this. I need to be everything for you. And then the other one who's harder and sterner and is actually you is like, no. You're going to do what you want. You're going to do whatever.
Right.
People are going to like it or they're not. Get over it.
And
Understand
I love
that life
like
is about
complimenting a stranger.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, I love that you can do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think to do that. And I was like, I don't know. I just like, I see something I like and I tell them.
That's so great. A lot of people don't do that enough. Sometimes I like think it. I'm like too nervous
and
to.
that can make somebody's day.
Yeah, for real. For real.
Or back to the whole logic, you never know where someone's at.
Yeah. Seriously. It's like, I think that's mostly just like, we need to stop thinking of ourselves so much. Like, if we just stop, same for like Instagram, like, that's what gets me. I think today, everything comes from counseling. It seriously changed your life. But like, she was telling me, like, because I was telling her about like that, I just care too much about people who don't matter, their opinions, when like my friends and my family who know me well and like give me the right kind of compliments or right critiques, I don't, like, that's great and all, but it's like I only live for people who don't know me and their opinions suck. But it's like, and she's like, that's like not what media. It's like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. That's not why. She's like, you need to remind yourself why you do things in the first place. Like, go back to the beginning and remember why you started it. Like, why you are doing this. And remember who you're doing it for. And remember that. She's like, why do you podcast? And I'm like, well, I just like talking with people and I think they have great ideas and stories. And she's like, remember that. Forget what people are thinking. Remember that when you post it. Same for YouTube. Why are you doing your YouTube?
Right.
And like, I'm like, I don't know, I just like being fun and making funny videos. Remember that.
Right.
You're not doing it for those
Views
3 people
or to be popular.
Seriously, because that's what will change everything. Like, is if you start doing it for views, think about like all those annoying YouTubers like Lele Pons or what the freak ever.
Yeah.
Like, they're annoying because they started doing it for views. Once people sell out, they're annoying. And like they're just so annoying. So it's like, and I was talking about it too, like, those people aren't the ones who are going to get me famous if I even want that or whatever. If that even happens. It's going to be God.
Yeah. Because he likes what you have to say and you're portraying like his gospel and like you're portraying like a good influence. And
with Instagram too, like, because that's how it would, like, I would trip up because like I started posting like my own stuff where like I'm just like weird. Like, it's just fun to be like real.
Yeah.
And like,
I know, and I love your like Instagram stories or something. And like my favorite one was when you were like trying to like see if people wanted to like buy your merch. And
oh my gosh,
you like deleted it and you were like,
so
okay,
nervous.
just kidding, like devil got to me for a minute. And I loved that because it was just like, yeah, girl, like we've all been there. Like I love it.
Yeah, and I think that's like not enough. Like that's like why I like unfollowed so many people, and I'm trying to like find more people that like not are like me, but that are just real.
Yeah.
And like we don't have to be think the same, and you don't even have to be a Christian, but like as long as you're real.
Yeah.
And like, because I think that's what we all want to see, is that like, oh, these people who look perfect or whatever, they actually are exactly like me, and
yeah,
you don't have to hide anything. Like everyone's afraid to be vulnerable is because like they're just afraid, and it's like, bro, you're giving your shame power. You need to like put it to light, and no one has the power to do anything.
Right.
Like no one can make fun of you.
I want to get better at like writing a good review. Like when I go somewhere or have something or buy something and I really like it, like I should give a good review.
Yeah.
Because like I forget the percentage, but like there's a percentage of like good reviews versus bad reviews, because you only want to talk about something when it's bad.
Yeah,
like,
for
why?
real.
Why is that?
I know, because like, yeah, when you're like, that's so true for restaurants. If you hate something, people will review it.
Right.
It's like, bro,
but
what?
if you like something, or that's somewhere where you and your family go for like every birthday or occasion,
yeah, you just forget.
why have I never? Yeah,
you're so right. Oh my gosh, let's download Yelp.
yes,
Help
spread
a brother
positivity
out. Seriously, there's not enough in the world, and like especially as Christians, where we're supposed to be the light, we're just like so sucked into like the world, like whatever it's doing.
Let's get matching light bulb tattoos and just like be the light.
Salt and light.
Yeah, you get the salt because you're salty. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you. When you just said something salty. Right. That's so funny. Yeah, it's just, so here's another call to action. Be different.
Yeah.
Celebrate your
Don't be
uniqueness.
different. Be yourself.
Oh my gosh, there you go. That's good.
Because yourself is different.
Yeah, there you go.
If you're truly being yourself.
Yeah, don't go along with trends. Forget them. Freaking forget them. Unless they're really cute.
Yeah.
But like,
and people will notice that you're being yourself, and like if you do like get famous or get popular for something, it'll be because you were being true and like being yourself.
Right. And like, that's what like I love about like that, I guess, that we are all different, is that like when we are like ourselves, not even like completely ourselves, but like even just a little bit, it's helping others see relate and see that they're not alone. Like that's the point of our stories. Like, so even us saying that like we had no testimony or whatever, we didn't come from freaking drugs, or our parents were in divorce or whatever, there's so many more people in the world like just like us who have the same exact testimonies, rather than people who had their Paul moment and were
it's hard to find those people though. Like where's the normal life small group,
seriously,
or like the raised a Christian, like or like has made a mistake, chill people, like where
like
they at?
where, that's what I'm wondering.
Find
that's
us, y'all. Hit us up.
Seriously, hit me up. That's what's so annoying. It's like every time I seek out people like that on Instagram, they always are the most perfect. Even though they're like, I made a mistake today. Yeah. I am human just like you. I yelled at my daughter. And I fell on my knees crying because I did that. And I'm like, bro, I wouldn't even realize. I would be ticked at my daughter for a week, and then I would realize that I was in the wrong.
Exactly.
Like, please show me that.
Yeah. Or like, I think I assume, and I also got some 13 Reasons Why, but like I assume that people are judging me, and like why do we assume that? Because who's paying attention to me? Like, stop. Who am I? Like, why is somebody focusing on me? Like, they're not. So then like to walk in a room and like assume that everyone's staring at you, like they're not. You're not as important as you think. No offense, but or like just don't focus on that, or don't find the one person in the room that is looking at you. That is. Yeah. And if they, honestly, if they are looking at you, or if they are judging you or whatever, you don't want to be friends with them. Yeah. And typically, like, how I think if I'm staring at someone, it's like,
either a snap judgment and then I change my opinion immediately. I'm like, well, that was freaking rude. Change your heart.
Yeah.
Or I'd be like, man, I really love her clothes a lot. So I'm just like staring like, oh my gosh, her outfit is incredible.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't know why someone's staring at you.
You have no idea.
Yeah, it could be because they really admire you.
Yeah, and like that's on you, though. You need to change your insecurities, because it's not. You shouldn't be mad at them. You shouldn't think anything of it, because they're allowed. They're allowed to do that.
Right. And again, with like people not liking you, like they're allowed to not like you.
They're allowed.
You just gotta get over it.
Right. And like any like mean comment, anyone unfollowing you, they're allowed to do that. So like, and it doesn't mean the
world
main
is over.
Right. The main lesson is that you did not lose any points of worth in that. Like in any form of rejection in
or
anyone,
lose any of your worth to God.
You didn't lose any. Like you are still on the same level that you were. You didn't lose anything. The one thing that like would make you a loser is that if you quit or changed yourself because of it.
Right.
Like
for the worst.
That's the loser. That would make you a loser. But yet you still didn't lose your worth. But yeah. It's just a big circle, but still, like, you're not less worthy if someone rejects you. You're not less of a person or less to God.
Because you were rejected by some stupid human.
By another human who's the same level of you as you.
And that's another pet peeve of mine, when, like, someone immediately acts like they're better than you.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Why?
What about you is better than me?
On this earth, I feel like, you know when you're a kid, when you're like taught about God, where because he's huge, we kind of think of ourselves as ants and he's God. That's how I thought of it anyway.
Yeah.
That's like what I'm picturing right now is on Earth, where all ants look the same. Yeah. And Earth is like 5 seconds in
our lifespan.
Yeah, in the picture of eternity.
Yeah.
Where like literally you having more money still makes you a same ant as me. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
exactly.
So good. Gained a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, be the light.
Being the light. Salt. Stop. It's at Kristen.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the show. Thanks for being on my show.
Thanks for having me.
Peace signs. Love ya.
Love ya.
Bye bye.
I feel so good if I just say the word.